Welcome to the Peachtree Morning Show by DCI. It's a wise way to start the day. Hope you enjoy.
Hello and good morning. Welcome back to the Peachtree Morning Show. We're happy to be with you again to answer the marvelous questions that you're asking us, and we're happy to answer them. So why don't we, today is June the 23rd. It's a wonderful Tuesday. We're running up to the 100th Peachtree Show. I think we have 97 now. And then Mr. Gesher Michael Roach will have done 2,000 minutes of, free consulting in the wonderful correlations of, if you do that, you get this. So let's have a look at the question of today. Anai, do you want to show that to us?
This is Barbara from Austria. My friend Judith from Switzerland and I have a question. We both live in cities and countries where it used to rain a lot, but lately it doesn't rain very much anymore and it causes huge problems in agriculture. Because of the dryness, there are fires, etc., and the underground water level decreases. I think it's a problem everywhere. So what is the seed for rain? Thank you so much. Goodbye.
So, as we're running into almost 100 Peachtree Mornings show, everyone who has watched this show knows that this is a totally legitimate question, because we've been saying that, everything comes from us. So the rain and the dry lands must be coming from us. So I think it's a legitimate question. And we also know that rain can be different to different people. Because I can think rain is wonderful because it, gives water to the land, but it can also be too much and then it's terrible. But I think Barbara wants to know, if I want rain, particularly for the land to be fertile and to the plants to be growing, what can I do? So Anai, perhaps you want to start that round by giving us your shot.
Thank you, Reba. Well, about this seed, I don't know a lot because I live in a beautiful city when we have the most beautiful weather the whole year. So all year is warm. So I didn't have like this question before, but what I know, because I tried to plan the 10 better seeds in my life, I try to remember every day that when we are not very kind with our words with other people, so we have troubles to have water enough in the place that we are living. So the way that she or they can work with these seeds is take care of how they talk with other people. But like maybe Geshe-la can share us more deeply, what is the correlation? What is the meaning of this correlation? Like be kind with our words with other people, that we don't have enough water.
Okay, Annie, thanks for giving me trouble. I told all my friends when I heard Barbara's question, I said, don't ask a guy who lives in the desert what's the way to make it rain. But actually our desert is kind of nice. We're getting rain when we need it. And we do have good groundwater here. And I think in the ancient books, so right this few months I'm working on finishing editing a book translated by Dr. Eric Wu and myself. And it's called All the Kinds of Karma. And it's actually a book by the Buddha himself. And it's about, it's gonna be about 300 pages of karmic connections. And I think that book would say that lack of rain, like Anais said, I think you're correct. I think your idea is correct, that it comes from, according to this ancient book, it comes from speaking in a way which disturbs other people, which upsets other people. And I like the idea in DCI of crystal lakes, called crystal lakes, and I think Eva wants to tell us about it.
Oh, yes, I love the tool, because the virtue number 6 is something that's the first virtue I worked on, because there was lots to do, apparently. So Crystal Lake is a wonderful tool that, you know, my friends, when we talk to each other, it's always like, Crystal Lake, you know, when we get upset. So we imagine that there is a lake inside the head, in the mind of the other person. And then when I'm finished with you, you know, I imagine that when I leave you, that lake should be as crystal and as silent and as unmoved as possible. Because normally when I'm done with people, they're like, because, you know, I'm a loud person, you know, and I'm a critical person. So, you know, there's a lot of negative consequences, not just lack of water, apparently. So that's Crystal Lake. Just respect that people have a peaceful mind, and you don't want to disturb that. You want to keep it beautifully relaxed and calm. So
I think there's a big thing where people's mood spreads to another person. So, if you worked in a big company, like I worked in a big company for almost 20 years, and you can see everybody in the office is feeling happy and their mind is calm and they're working with harmony. And then one person comes in and starts screaming or gets nervous or starts yelling. And then it's like a COVID virus, you know, it spreads to the next person. Then they take it to the next room and they spread it to the next person. And then after about 2 hours, I could see in my floor of the building in New York, maybe 100 people would start to get a little bit grumpy because of this one first virus, you know. And they say it has an effect on our outside world. Now, why would it affect the rain? What do you guys think?
that's a good question.
Very difficult.
Do you want to go on, Amy?
Any idea? I didn't have this question before, as I told you.
Well, you know, let's sort of, if it's virtue number 6, and if it's criticizing, if the mind is disturbed, in this particular case, the soil is disturbed. You know, it's supposed to be growing and it needs water, and it doesn't have sort of the thing that it needs. It's disturbed. It's irritated in that sense. It cannot grow. Perhaps something like this.
Yeah, there is a theme. There is a theme in those negative deeds of talking, right? Negative talking deeds. There is a theme about, I guess, with talking, if you don't talk carefully, that there will be results that harms how things ripen. It harms how things can grow. So I think what Eva said is a good idea. I think that's where it's going, is that it mostly, when we don't talk carefully and we hurt other people with our talk, then it will hurt goals getting achieved, or our projects coming out successfully. It has some kind of effect. Even they say on the fruits, like this year, I have a plum tree, and the rain came normally, everything happened normally, and there are just no plums on the tree this year. I don't know why. Last year there were a few hundred, you know, and so they say it's connected to bad talking, hurting other people with your speech, because somehow that's fruitless, and things don't come out. Your job doesn't succeed. Something like that.
Yeah, that's very nice. So do we have any ideas? So if we turn it around now and give those ladies a tip, can we just summarize or get together what you could do to make it rain? It's a DCI rain dance, you know, we can make it rain. So what's a DCI rain dance?
I would say, go ahead, Anai, go ahead.
No, I have this idea that all our seeds have different levels. And sometimes we say something that is one level, but also our thoughts of other people or about us is also another level. Like apparently we can not be rude with other people, but we are thinking like very bad things about other people. So like it's the way that I'm working with my seeds, because I realize that mine is like too cruel. But yeah.
Geshta, what were you going to say?
I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? Oh yeah, I mean, I was teaching in California at a center, a spiritual center, and they are in the forest, and they had a very, very bad road to the center. And they asked me a similar question. They said, you know, what's the reason for this bad road? And I said, well, you know, I said, look, I don't really believe it. I'm not sure I believe it, but the book says, Tsongkhapa says, you are talking harshly to other people. And, you know, then I laughed and I thought, okay, maybe they'll be happy. But they did a very strange thing. They made a program at their center to stop talking that way. And everyone had to sign an agreement, and everybody in the center started avoiding talking roughly to each other, and they took it very seriously, which I don't, right? And like, I don't know, 3 months later, the government came to them and said, we are going to fix your road, and we are going to pave it also, which is extremely expensive. It's like $1 million. And the government said, we'll just do it for you for free, you know? And so I don't know, maybe it works, you know?
Yeah, looks like it. Very nice story. That's wonderful. I have one idea which I wanted to share, and I'm not sure you can tell me whether I'm wrong. You know, but I was thinking if intention plants the seed, right? Whatever I do plants the seed. And if I say drink a glass of water, you know, and my intention is to, you know, replenish my cells because human body needs water. And I put it inside me, and then I'm happy about it, and I dedicate it to sort of fertile lands. Or like my mum, you know, older people, they don't drink a lot, and that affects the brain, and they get even more forgetful than they are anyway, kind of. And so they're always told to drink a lot. And my mum never drinks. You know, it's impossible for her to get that water inside. So if I put grasses everywhere, and if I remind her to drink, and when I come, says, "Oh, come on, have a glass, we have it together." If I help her sort of water her lands, you know, just, and I dedicate it to the lands, would that work, you think?
I like it a lot. I like the idea a lot. Like drink more water yourself because you will be healthier and you can serve more people, and encourage other people to drink more water. And I believe it would have a direct effect on the rain. I think it's a great idea. Let's decide that's the answer to the question.
So that's the DCI rain dance, is drink more water.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, that's cool. I like it because, you know, that's what I like about the DCI system. You know, it's sometimes so beautifully easy. You know, you drink more water, but if your intention is good and your motivation is high, and you know, you can, you know, you can be the Indian dancing on the rain fields, and you can make it rain. I mean, isn't
I
that
like it
super
because
cool?
it's simple and it's helpful to people. You know, it's simple and helpful to people. So I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything else? And you know, because that was the question. Oh, I was thinking. She also talked about fire.
Yeah.
That being the consequences of the lack of rain, and that might not be the consequence. So perhaps fire has a different reason. And as far as I see Tsongkhapa, that would be virtue number 4 of lying. So natural catastrophes. So it's, you know, be careful what you speak, both in terms of not being harsh and also in terms of not lying. Would that make sense to you guys?
Cool. And I keep thinking about people in Africa who don't have water. And it doesn't take much money to help them to drill wells or things like. We're working on some wells here, for example, for the native people. And I think that's when I heard about the virus and I think about the virus, I think maybe partly it's because we as a whole world, we ignored people in Africa. You know, we didn't help people there. We knew they needed help, but we didn't help them. And it seems like fresh water is a very valuable thing in the world. And it's a very easy. It's cheap to build a well. You know, you can build a well in a third world country with a pump for like $600 or something. So I think that's another thing we could do. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. So I think we have everything, and the time is up anyway. German being the time controller is going to ring in a minute. So let's have the email address. Anaï, can you just show people, just in case they cannot remember by now what the email address is? So that's for the music mix. As you know, we're looking for the most wonderful watering Spotify music playlist, which is musicmix@diamondcutterinstitute.com. And please still keep on sending your questions. Geshe Michael has not retired on the Peachtree Morning Show as yet. So it's seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com. Please do send them in. We're very happy to answer even the difficult questions. And then we have the question for tomorrow. Where are you going to talk?
What is this question for
This is very interesting
Michael.
question.
Hello, teachers. My name is Delia, and I'm from Romania. My husband dream was to build a new house for our family, and the dream came true. We moved in about 2 years ago, but we hadn't enough money to finish completely the house and the yard. So since then we just make some parts of this, but it's always not finished. So what would be the seed to see our house finished completely and to fully enjoy? Thank you.
Beautiful. So you're going to talk to Uta and Raul, I believe, about that.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Tomorrow, Ralph from Mexico City and Uta from Berlin.
That's
Those
right.
Mexicans and Germans are very good together.
Yeah, actually. You know, I don't know whether you know, but Anaï and we work in the same area of work, which is not a very big area. We're both qualitative market researchers. Interestingly enough, we don't work there anymore, really, because, you know, if you think about the pen, then you wonder whether getting the opinion of people will help a company like L'Oreal and Audi and all these people, because that's what we do. You know, we get qualitative data from people, and then we tell Audi what to do. And we were both wondering, and you can say something about that if you want. You know, we were both wondering sort of how useful that is, and you do want to spend your time in a useful way. So
Yes.
that's quite interesting.
And remember that this Friday, we're going to have a surprise for 100 episodes of the Peachtree Morning Show.
Yay!
That's right. That's perfect. I'm looking forward to that. So
I think qualitative marketing can be useful if you. So planting seeds is like salt, and if you put some salt on the qualitative marketing, it tastes better. And I think then it will work.
Well, that's one thing. And the other thing I thought, actually, when I realized that how useful is my job, you know, if L'Oreal is actually interested in the opinion of people, which is a seed they're planting by paying us, getting the opinion together, then you see, on the other hand, people will be interested in them. And it is the big companies who pay for qualitative markets, the big car companies and cosmetics. And so they're paying money to be interested in the needs of people. So people will be interested in them. So perhaps it's just that. Also.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so a little
I remember you gave me your doctorate thesis, your PhD thesis, and I didn't understand one page, but I wish I still had it because I need something to keep my computer up higher.
It's a big one. Can I show you?
I know.
It's big. You can put your computer on it. There you go.
Yeah. It's a great. I don't know. Someday you have to teach me what it means. Okay.
Yeah. Will do. But when it's still relevant, perhaps your books are more important.
No, Rob.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thanks for watching today's Peachtree Morning Show. See you next time.